Sex Olympics.
Some
Greg,
antics.
close that place down.
Greg's over here calling that kettle black. 'Cause he's on the pot.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
You bet you do.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So what's up?
Oh, the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You're rustling some papers.
There we go.
Yeah.
That was an anti-static bag,
Oh.
and
nice.
it just sounded very nice on the microphone.
Yeah. It makes a nice rustling.
Exactly. I'm a Foley artist in my off hours.
It's the sound of leaves.
A Dave Foley artist.
Oh,
I wish I looked that good in a dress.
So do I.
Yeah,
You see that new trailer though?
I did
Mhm.
indeed.
Nice.
It reminds me of a gentle walk through the fallen leaves. Oh yeah, we are taking our steps through the fallen leaves.
Wow. Hello and welcome to episode 806 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me all the way direct and live from Canada, Mr. Greg Zort. Give it up.
We need some air horns to go off there.
Oh, wait, I have one. Hold on. Wait, where is it?
Oh, jeez. That's pretty good.
Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
Terribly.
Terribly.
Coming to you live from the Plague House.
Oh.
4 of the
Plague
5 of
House.
us have the vid.
Who's the lucky escapee?
The unlucky
Unlucky
Yeah.
escapee.
is me,
Look at that.
but I'm fairly certain. I've taken the test 3 times in the last 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I've been studying though, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pass tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So yeah,
Oh yeah.
I can feel it. So
That's
Oh dear.
That's not good. That's not good.
yeah,
It's great though when you get so good at doing the tests that you don't even have to read the instructions or look at them anymore. You just
I'll tell you one thing though. I realized I got to work on my gag reflex.
I can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where are you sticking that cotton swab?
You're supposed to put it in your throat too. First, throat first, and then
Not the one that I've been taking.
Up in Canada, there are 2 cotton swabs. One goes in the nose, one goes in the mouth, and then they have to touch.
and they have to meet. Yeah,
Yeah. And then you
if they
wiggle
don't
it
meet,
around a little
you're
bit.
not doing it right.
You're not doing it right. Oh, and from the great state of Washington, Mr. Filthy Evolved.
Greg accidentally inhaled in the one from his nose. Just went
When it
straight
came out
down.
of my mouth, then I used it on
Yeah.
the test.
That's quite the magic trick there.
And you can just spit it right into the
And the best part was when it came out, I tied it in a bow
like without your hands, with your
with
tongue.
my tongue. Yeah.
Oh, ooh, that's sensuous.
Mhm.
Wow,
That's what I wanna see.
Working blue tonight.
So
Did you do this
last
live
week,
on Twitch?
Oh, you should
No,
have live stream those tests.
So gross.
I'm sure there's already a community around.
Oh,
You
I'm
could
sure
be-
there is.
You could be playing some.
You have to be in a
retro
hot
game.
tub while you do it, though.
I don't have a hot tub.
We'll get one.
You should be
How
playing through
hard
those
is
old
this?
Super Nintendo, like the the Brachiosaurus games and Rex Morgan MD,
Oh,
all those
yes.
medical themed games.
Trauma center. Just do them all.
Perfect.
2-point hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And the rest.
and then go to Gravekeeper. Just skip over right to it.
Oh wow,
Funny.
wow!
All
Shockingly
right.
dark. My goodness. Jeez.
Well,
yeah.
last week when we recorded, I was sick.
Mm-hmm. I remember
then-
that
I remember it too.
you were feeling a
And
little under the weather.
under the weather, like a cold.
Yeah.
Aren't we all under the weather? Unless we're like in an airplane or something.
I guess that's
Mm.
true. in a manner of speaking.
Man,
But so I took the
I'm
COVID.
super high right now. Don't say
Yeah,
stuff
me
like
too.
that.
That's why I'm saying things
I'm
like
gonna
that.
I'm gonna be hung up on that for hours now.
Here, let me take a drink of this this medicine.
I took
It's a hot toddy, is what that's called.
Oh, that was what my dad always suggested whenever he had a cold.
Oh yeah.
He didn't drink, but it was always his first suggestion. You should have a hot toddy. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Well, you should have one. It'll help. It's like, okay, thanks.
boil up some Gatorade.
How do you make one? I don't know. All right, good.
So yeah, I took
Mhm.
I took a test after we recorded the show,
And you
thinking
passed.
that it wouldn't be positive because it was just cold symptoms or whatever. But it was
I
positive.
don't know if you've been listening or not, but it is just a cold. Haven't you heard that?
Right?
Yep.
No, well, I've heard that, but I don't know
Well,
if that's
you
true
know,
in all cases.
You should do your own research, CJ.
I see. So we ended up
I
like
have a YouTube video you should
quarantining
see.
at home.
It's about the dilly dabbler.
My daughter too. She did not go back to school from spring break since
Oh no.
had someone who's COVID positive in the house. She was all broken up about it. Trust me.
No, I can
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
imagine.
sure she hated that.
Yeah, she really
Oh
hated
no,
it.
more vacation.
Oh,
Daddy,
no.
don't be sick.
Yeah. But
She never caught it though, did she? Or
she never caught it. No.
Really?
And,
Okay.
my wife either. Neither of them.
see, we
Caught
had
the
so
vid.
with us, the fun bit about it all was that on Thursday, my youngest woke up and she her throat was really sore.
Hmm.
So of course, I immediately tested her, and it was negative. It's like, okay, cool. But that kept her home from school anyway, because in today's
Yeah.
climate,
Sure.
if they have even symptoms, you keep them home.
Mhm.
So I did that. And then my aunt, who lives with me, who's had a lot of health issues over the past few years, had been sort of struggling through the week with some various problems that weren't related to COVID, although we did test her a couple times and she was negative.
Good.
And anyway, it sort of got pretty bad that day. So we actually called an ambulance in a
Jeez.
non-emergency way, which I didn't even know you could do. And these very nice EMTs showed up and they talked to her and they decided that she needed to go to the hospital for observation, which is what we expected. And of course, the first thing they asked when they came into the house was, is anyone here tested positive? Are you isolating, anything like that? No, everything's cool. We're good. Tested the kids yesterday. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
So anyway, they took her away and she had been tested that week. She was fine. And then because the kids were all starting to sniffle and cough, it's like, well, I think we got to do, we got to test everybody.
Yeah.
So all four of us tested and it's like, oh, look, 3 positives.
Oh dear.
So I immediately called the hospital and found where she was. And it's just like, so just so you know,
Yeah.
like 5 minutes after you left, my kids and I tested and my kids are all positive. So that like triggered everything at the hospital where she had to be put into another room separate from everyone else. They tested her. She tested positive as well. All the EMTs had to be tested. So it was just like, oh my God. So like I felt on top of that, I felt like I hated that it was all happening, but then I felt terrible because I had these 3 EMTs in the house and
Right.
told them we're good. And then, oh no, wait, we weren't. Good luck. So anyway,
But at least you tested right after and then told them. Like that's
yeah, like within 10 minutes we were told.
Yeah.
Well, 15 minutes. That's how long it took the test to show up.
right.
Obviously. So,
Mm.
good times.
Good. Yeah. I guess I got mine in Vegas.
No,
What happens in
gee,
Vegas didn't
really?
stay in Vegas.
Oh,
you're kidding.
I know,
real
right?
surprise.
But we had hung out with my good friend Mike and his wife Katie when we got back from Vegas, and they tested negative. I told them immediately, "Hey, I just tested positive," but they were all negative, so it's all good for them. Oh, what happened here?
Wow, Greg froze. Oh,
CJ
Oh,
kicked us
wow.
all out of the broadcast.
I'm
No.
seeing double. 4
CJ kicked us
Gregs.
out.
We had 2 Gregs there. Hold on, let's bring that back. Oh wait, no,
Yeah, he's
didn't
gone.
work.
I'm
He's
here.
gone.
I'm here. Hello?
I see you now.
Okay.
Yes. But your square is shifted. Let me just fix that. Hold on.
Whoa.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Better.
Oh, that always makes me dizzy.
Not enough, Greg.
But yeah, so I tested yesterday to make sure that everything was good, and my symptoms stayed mild. It stayed just like a cold, luckily.
Oh,
With my youngest, it's pretty much like a cold, but with my oldest two, it's like a bad sinus cold.
ugh.
Yeah, that's not good. Also,
You know
not
what I mean?
good
Like
that
it's
Greg.
ears are sore and also like that combined with I would say almost like a strep throat, like that level of
Yeah.
a
Oh,
sore
geez.
throat. Like when they cough, that's what it sounds like.
Oh,
So yeah, they're pretty uncomfortable. They're not happy.
that's not pleasant. No.
No.
My aunt doesn't even have any symptoms. She seems totally fine.
Well, that's good.
She's gotten more shots than all of us, but so
That's good. Yes. Thank God for the boosters and vaccines that we've all taken.
And
It seems now that since a lot of people are getting back to quote unquote normal and maybe going into the office or going back to school, going into stores without wearing masks, that a lot of people that I know, you're not the only person I know that has
Oh my
gotten
God.
it this week. Like I'm hearing from a lot of people like, oh, I just caught it.
Well,
Just tested positive. It's like, oh,
it's because we were here in Nova Scotia, we were quite successful at containing it the first time around.
yeah.
So now I'm the same way. Almost everybody I know has had it now. My brother's family's had it twice. And I mean, these are people who are also like all vaccinated and they all wear their masks everywhere. And not that that protects them so much, but and when you go out, even when they've lifted the mandates here, I'd say probably a good 50 to 75% of people are still masking when they go indoors.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
I mean, we're still, for the most part, as a province, pretty careful. But like, I went until the last couple months knowing maybe 3 people who got it,
Yeah.
and now, like in the last 2 or 3 months, it's everybody I know has had
Everybody.
it. So
yeah.
it feels almost worse than I think it really is, just because the dichotomy of like when we were all locked down, nobody I knew had it, nobody caught it, and now suddenly like everybody has it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's good, but I'm just saying it feels even more dramatic from
It
the fact
does.
that we just didn't have we had one major outbreak in this province, and unfortunately it was a retirement home, so it sort of tore through that population. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was mostly contained in this province. So yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. Well, obviously in Vegas, nobody was wearing masks.
No.
But I went to Target yesterday, and I was surprised. Like I thought for sure I'm going to be the only person wearing a mask, but yeah, it was about half. Like it's kind of nice to see. But it also could be that so many people are getting it and then wanting to also go out and shop that they're just
Yeah.
wearing the mask to do that. But
Could be.
yeah, so I guess if you haven't had it already, get ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's felt inevitable for a while now. So, I mean, I'm still was pretty upset. My youngest was very upset.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of have to deal with it. So
Yeah, it's true. Well, hopefully everybody gets well soon and doesn't have any longer lasting
well,
impacts.
y'all get a week off school. So
Yeah. I know week off sports and everything too, I'm sure. Just
yeah, that's the part that my son's not happy about.
a slow week suddenly. Yeah. Phil, you still haven't had it. No one in your household, huh?
Nope, we are still clean here.
Clean there. All righty.
Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I have to
Uh-oh.
do some.
What, did you get a test result?
No. I have to do some Lego surgery here.
Uh-oh.
My son is putting together a Lego set, and there's a tiny little piece that's stuck in a big piece. There you go, kiddo.
Did you
You're
just
very
pop that out with your microphone?
I used the the little.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, I needed. There was a thin
Nice.
little tile, like a little 1x1 tile that was stuck inside the underside of a brick, and I needed like a like a toothpick or something to wedge in there. But
don't you have whatever that orange tool is they give you? You probably have a million of
like
those.
50 of them right at your
I mean,
desk.
in fact, I have one right here.
There you
There's always one within reach.
I've never seen one colored teal before. They're
Yeah,
always
these
orange.
are the relatively newish ones.
Okay.
But these are good for separating pieces. They're good for prying.
You got to
pieces
keep them
apart.
separated.
You got to keep them separated. And
well,
they're
Phil
good
is
for,
pretty fly for a white guy.
Agreed. They're good for poking out axle pieces, but
Crazy
they
Taxi.
do not have a
Crazy Taxi.
they do not have a little toothpick sized thing to pop out.
Weren't we doing the Offspring?
Yeah, but it just
That
you said pretty fly for a white guy. That wasn't in Crazy Taxi.
That was an Offspring song.
Yeah.
The Offspring songs are in Crazy Taxi. That's the only other thing I could think of that was related. Anyway, let's talk about some video game news here. Why don't we? Capcom Arcade Stadium. You remember this game from not too long ago?
The one that I promised myself I'd buy a lot of and never bought one.
Never bought one? Well, they're releasing a sequel called Capcom Arcade Second Stadium with another 32 games.
It's a little weird that they're releasing a whole separate game as opposed to just
adding
putting
more
new
to the old
games into this collection. Yeah.
But Greg said he didn't buy any of the games that were in the first one. Now the press release announced, or the tweet announcing a second one, you're reminded that you didn't buy any. And
that's
maybe
true.
You'll get some for the second
Probably
one.
not, but
Probably not.
I don't know. What are the games?
Well, they haven't said.
Oh, jeez.
They mentioned one, right?
Well,
Yeah,
they
the free
mentioned
one,
that pre-orders and early purchases of the Capcom Fighting Collection will get 3 wonders as a bonus.
But they don't say what they are.
No, the game is 3 wonders.
The game is 3 wonders.
Okay, I thought it was 3 games. I thought 3 wonders. I thought it was just flowery language for 3 games.
That's the name.
So they're
of the
giving
game.
us a game that I've never heard of.
Well, boy, let me tell you, games today, they got all sorts of crazy nicknames. Well, I was playing a game the other day.
They're going to give you a BioShock. No, I don't want to be shocked. No. Get it away.
It's not at all what just happened. But anyway.
Oh, anyway.
3 wonders, you say? What are those 3? What's the name of those 3 wonders? Exactly. No. I'm wondering what the 3 wonders are. Precisely.
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna workshop that. We'll have it.
Third base.
Crazy Taxi.
See, it's gonna keep shouting Crazy Taxi. So, but I mean, okay. Is that a game that I should be excited about getting for free with the second game? See, I think that was the thing that kind of I lost interest almost immediately because one of the free games last time was Ghosts and Goblins.
Yes.
Which is not a good game. I don't care what anyone says. Ghosts and Goblins is not a good. Ghouls and Ghosts was a great game.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Ghosts and Goblins is not good.
It's a marked improvement.
Yes.
Over its predecessor.
It's a wonder compared to its predecessor.
Some call it Capcom's fourth wonder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Single wonder. Oh, that's funny. And it was while looking for news to do this show. Slow week. Wow, nothing happened, man. But I did dig up this story that we didn't talk about before, which is that Bandai Namco apparently has job listings out that refer to a Nintendo-related project. It's a HD remaster of 3D backgrounds. So a person who can work on a Nintendo HD remaster of a 3D action game. And my question to you is, let's say there is a 3D action game being remastered from Nintendo. What would you like to see that be?
But is it a 2D game that's being remade into a 3D action game? Is that okay? Because I kind of lost the thread there.
No details.
Well, but the way you described it, didn't they say that it's with 2D background art or the background artist that could take 2D backgrounds and make 3D backgrounds?
No, I did not say that. Okay.
I wasn't paying attention. I was reading the chat.
HD remaster of 3D backgrounds for a 3D action game.
3D backgrounds.
Star Fox Assault.
Which one?
Star Fox Assault. Bandai Namco.
Oh, fine. Oh,
Saw
yeah.
that.
There
That
it
is
is.
true.
Finally.
It could be a game that Bandai Namco has already worked on.
Probably not, but I mean, why not?
So a Mario Party game, or they could do more boards for Superstars. I'd certainly be happy with that. Didn't they work on Smash Brothers Wii? Pretty sure they
I have
did.
no
And
idea.
they also worked on the Wii U game. But my hope here is
Your hope is what Jeff Grubb is saying in the chat.
Star Fox Adventures.
God, no.
Yes.
Maybe they could make it fun. Exactly. I don't think anyone can make that piece of crap fun.
Wow. CJ with the potty mouth.
What did I do? I gave it a 4.5 in
Yeah.
EGM, something like that. I stand by
Did you get
that
any death
review.
threats for that?
No, I didn't.
Of course not.
Because he was in the right.
History has proven me correct. The game is poorly designed.
I'm going to say history proved me correct in Chrono Cross as well, but
well, there was one half a point.
that it was a
from
great game, but
perfection.
not perfect.
Half a point from perfection. Yeah.
Now, CJ, a 10 didn't mean perfection.
I do know that. I gave out a couple of 10s.
Me too.
And no, of course, it did not mean perfect. But people always think that. But anyway, yeah, Kid Icarus would be my vote if they were going to remaster something.
I would love.
Like, take out the weird control scheme on 3DS.
Yeah,
I think really kept that away from a lot of people. If they could somehow make that for Switch, I think people would really enjoy it. I enjoyed what I played. I didn't really enjoy holding the 3DS the way that you had to. Even came with like a stand.
Yeah, were we using the stand?
Of course not.
Well, whose fault is that?
Nintendo's.
Oh, obviously.
But no, I think that would be a great idea. I know that I would give that game a shot if I didn't have to deal with stylus controls.
It's a great game.
Or they should remake and remaster Donkey Kong 94 because that would be excellent.
It's not a 3D action game.
I hope they do it anyway. Well, it doesn't matter. As long as we're talking about wish list items, what can Nintendo remaster?
Talking about wish list. We were talking about what matches the description.
I'll tell you what's desperately overdue for a remaster.
What?
Zelda 2.
I agree with that. I'd love to see that.
How about Mario 2?
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You give that to Way Forward after...
oh my God. Could you imagine? It would look
after
amazing.
They're done with Advance Wars Reboot Camp, which they're done with it already, I guess.
That's coming out yet?
No.
That's too bad.
Did you see that story about the person whose copy unlocked on their Switch?
Yes.
I did see that.
That is wild.
That is wild. Yeah. But yeah, give it to Way Forward. Let them jazz it up. And that'd be perfect. Maybe I would actually play Zelda 2 at that point.
Have you never played it?
I mean...
I played it. I just haven't... I drop off it super quick because I
Zelda
don't like
2...
difficulty.
You just have to do a little bit of tweaking. You'd have to just, just turn the difficulty down a little bit, just a little bit. And, give it a different translation. But I mean, it's not a big game, so it shouldn't take that long.
That's
Get
true.
A4 to translate it. Do a new translation of it. And, except you have to leave an I am error, of course. That's it. I mean, otherwise the game would be, it's very playable.
Yeah.
So,
well, and there have been a lot of indie games recently that are trying to do that.
Yeah.
Formula, right? Most recently, Infernax. I don't know if you played
know
that. It is on Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Infernax. Play that. But anyway, yeah. So Bandai Namco doing some kind of Nintendo remake.
I look forward to seeing whatever it is.
It'll probably be something like
it'll be something on it. It'll be
Hamtaro.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. If it's that Hamtaro Ham Games, little track and field game,
you're all in.
That game was good. The game was legit great.
What if it's Molmania?
Oh,
what?
What if it's
don't tease
Molmania?
me.
Oh. Molmania. That would be
Molmania. Phil will be working on his gag reflex.
Okay then. I guess that means it's time for another air horn. Hold on, wait.
You see, that's not the one you need.
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
happy Easter, everybody.
That's weird for the devil to be wishing us a happy Easter.
I know, right?
I didn't expect that.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know,
You like
Friday-
chocolate. No,
call-
don't. Oh God.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't turn this into that show.
Friday was some people say it's a good Friday. I thought it was a great Friday.
Oh, that's awful.
But then Easter comes around and I'm just like, okay.
But you must like chocolate.
Oh, I love
Probably
chocolate.
feed it fast down there, though, right? It
The
must melt
devil's
pretty-
nectar, it melts everywhere down here. In your mouth, in your hands, crammed up some fellow's sphincter.
Jesus.
All over the place down here. It's wonderful.
Whoa. Yikes.
That's weird.
Yeah, that got
Huh.
strange.
Well, anyway, what I was going to say is it's time for what you've been playing. And Greg,
Oh.
you can go first there, sir.
Sure. So one of the games that I've been playing, and this I don't think is a new game, but I think it just came out on the PlayStation 4. I was playing on a PlayStation 5 actually, which is Formula Retro Racing, I believe it's called. This is a game that was actually had a code for this. So it's, if you go and take a look at what this is, it looks like virtual racing. It's a formula style racing game, like an open wheel style racing game with flat shaded polys. So it's meant to invoke memories of 90s racers, they say, but it's virtual racing is what it's supposed to look like. Which I was excited about to trying out because we've had a bit of a revival of in the racing genre for the last couple of years, which has been fantastic. And it seems like the smaller studios are they've gotten to that point where we've moved, not totally completely moved past, but we're not just looking at like, hey, look at this game, it looks like an 8-bit game, and or a 16-bit game when we call it an 8-bit game, but they're moving into like those early to mid 90s arcade 3D aesthetic, right? Like when 3D was starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
And that's great. I have lots of fun memories. I think a lot of people have a lot of fun memories of those games. And of course I'm talking about like, virtual racing being sort of the kickoff, and then Daytona and Ridge Racer and any number of Namco and Sega arcade games. So was excited to try this out. And I have to say that like after I think I got 4 laps into the first race, and it's just like, this is just, it's so bland. They really, I feel like they really missed the mark on it, because I think maybe not with virtual racing, because virtual racing sort of got by on the fact that it was a 3D racing game, right? It didn't have it did have some personality, but it didn't have a ton, right? Like it had a few touches in it, like the pit crew that sort of falls back from the tires as you start the race, and when you went through checkpoints, like there was no music in the game, but then you go through a checkpoint and you get one of these little short music clips that were all a little bit different. And, you had the announcer screaming out time bonus. And then of course you had the stupid like Sega game over or get goal sort of singing bit at the end. So there was a little bit of personality there. And I think playing this, that's what it's missing. And not to mention sort of all the UX sort of upgrades that we've come to expect from racing games. I know it's supposed to look old, but it kind of plays old. And like I said, just kind of boring. Or then you look at, you move a little bit further along when you're talking about 90s arcade racers. And again, first going to Daytona and lots of little touches in Daytona as well, with as far as trackside objects go, like you had the big dinosaur fossils and the big statues of like Jeffrey and stuff like that. And again, little touches like being able to hear your crew chief telling you to go easy on the car. Or one great little touch in Daytona that I always loved was how, as you went through the race and you passed the checkpoints and the announcer told you about it, if you listen closely, and I don't know that a lot of people notice this, he gets more excited as you get further and further into the race. Like he's actually, if you listen to his voice, he does change how he's saying. I can't remember if it's time bonus or it's time extended. Like when you play the first race and it's lap by lap, when you first start, he's just saying time extended, and then as you get near the end, he goes time extended, like he's getting really excited near the end. So, and of course, you've got the amazing music with the lyrics. This has none of that, and I'm not saying it has to be just like Sega, but they didn't do anything to give it any personality at all. Which is a real shame because I think they had something going. And one thing that I thought was kind of funny is like as I was saying all that and as I was thinking all that, I was thinking about how the music was such an important part of a lot of those first 3D racing games. I just mentioned like Virtua Racing, of course, Daytona Ridge Racer had a great soundtrack. And I think if you took the soundtracks out of those games, or even like an Outrun, even going further back, right? You took the really good soundtracks out of those games and replaced it with something a bit more generic. They'd still be good games, but they weren't great. You know, the audio was a huge part of those games. It was very important. And the audio tracks in this game, not only are they not exciting in any way, just by listening to the audio, especially the first track that you hear in the first race, I knew this was a UK-based developer because the audio is trying to, it seems like it's trying to remind you of Commodore 64 music.
Really?
There's that sort of same like arpeggio. Do you know what I'm saying? Like how
I absolutely do.
You know exactly what I mean. I had to actually look that word up because I'd never known what to call that, but it's sort of this warbling. When you have long held notes, like it's sort of this warbling sound that's apparently called an arpeggio. That's very indicative of Commodore 64 music, and especially UK developed and European developed Commodore 64 music. I've always found anyway. Maybe that's wrong, but like you could even hear that. You get into like Game Boy games. Actually, I remember hearing it a fair amount on Game Boy games and on NES games. Again, usually when they came over from Europe or the UK. So yeah, it's just it's too bad. It's very nice looking, you know, for what it is. But again, the tracks are extremely the roadside objects and everything. There's no personality whatsoever in the game, and they think they really missed the mark on that. I think that's all they really needed to do. It's like, you know, even when you think about back to like Virtua Racing, where you had you know, like the bridges you had to go over in the first course. So when you had the hairpin at the end and you could see like the pirate ship and the Ferris wheel in the background, just little things like that. It has none of that. It just doesn't have anything to give it any kind of like, oh, that's cool. You know,
that's kind of disappointing when something like Hotshot Racing, you remember that one from a year or two ago, that was also kind of trying to invoke that Virtua Racing Daytona style. Did it pretty well, I think, with the background details. Obviously, sort of not copying exactly what Sega did, but having some of those details, like a amusement park or like aquarium that you're going under and things like that.
And the other thing that I was thinking of as I was playing it, which I think this came out around the same time, was Cruisin'.
Cruisin', yeah.
I mean, there's a game where Cruisin' Blast, where the arcade, the racing was pretty good, right? It wasn't amazing, but it was good. But it was very frenetic. It was super fast. And it's filled with those moments that you got with arcade racers in the 90s. Like, you know, with like a Ferris wheel rolling across the track, or you go over a jump and suddenly there's an earthquake and there's a giant rift opens underneath you, or there's like a big, you know, a plane graveyard that you're landing beside. Like there's just tons of things like that all through that game. Like that team got it. That team understood what nostalgia for a 90s racing game was and is.
Well, it was less about simulating a real race and making something exciting that you wanted to pour quarters into over and over and over again. Or you'd walk by the machine and see
it would
the
attract
mode, and it really would get you to pay, right?
So yeah, overall not super crazy about it. It's too bad. They had a good idea, but they missed that, especially in a world where, I don't know if you can still buy this, but where M2 re-released Virtua Racing, and you know, with a nice smooth frame rate on the Switch, you can go get that, and you can get what this game is trying to invoke. But you know, it's Virtua Racing,
right?
So anyway, there you go. Joe Baldwin in the chat says it's still available. So that, other than that, the only other thing I played, I believe we all played, which is God of Protector's Cart of Darkness.
Yeah,
you guys made me feel stupid for not knowing what this was.
Right.
So, I mean, this is how would you describe what this game is? It's hard to. Yeah.
A retro style action game that invokes gameplay mechanics from tower defense
Yes.
and
In my head, it's tower defense plus gauntlet.
Yes.
Gauntlet, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
With an NES aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that's what I would like to say that really struck me, especially after just sort of ranting about Formula Retro and how they completely missed the mark as far as the style that they were going for. Boy, does this hit that NES style perfectly.
Yeah. Perfectly.
Like it looks like it could be playing on your NES. Like it's just the art style fits, and the resolution, the color usage, everything. I'm sure it's better than what an NES could do.
Right.
But it's what I remember an NES looking like.
And the sound samples too.
And the audio as well. Yeah.
Audio is great.
Yeah, it sounds like an NES game. Like
It does.
that really struck me the first time I played it. And apparently it's a follow-up to a 3DS game or just a DS game?
The 3DS.
3DS title.
Game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
which was also great.
Yeah, which that was, you guys had told me it was like a hidden gem on that system, but I've never ever played it. So yeah, the whole idea is that you're in levels where you have a princess who you have to push onto the castle in the level, which will then start moving down tracks in the level. The ultimate goal of being that the castle needs to get to the, I guess, enemy castle at the end of the tracks. And then she'll start attacking that, or fortress or whatever. She'll start attacking that. And in the meantime, your job is to protect her and your castle from the incoming enemies. And there's all kinds of other things too. Like you can be on tracks where you need to throw switches so that she can continue on, or there are doors that you have to unlock, which later on, like there are teleporters that you have to go through. All the levels get very intricate after a while. And overrun with enemies.
Oh yeah,
like, it's insane.
Seriously overrun.
It's crazy.
It's anxiety inducing
Yeah.
at times, just because there's so much going on, and you can select up to 3 characters that you can bring into each stage with you, and they have different attacks and different abilities and things. But when things really get intense, the screen is full of enemies, and I don't even know. Oftentimes, you can't even see your character amongst them. There's just so much going on.
I found that happens especially, and I mean, I haven't played too long into it, but especially when you get to the enemy castle at the end of the tracks.
Yeah.
And then they really start to pour on the enemies. And losing sight of my character was pretty common, to the point that I would, by mistake, I would like push the princess off of the castle.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, I was doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of course halts her attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and
but yeah,
also,
sorry.
Like, throughout the stages, there are also like barriers that are set up that will temporarily keep the enemy out, and they'll hammer away and try and knock down the barriers. And you can rush over, and by attacking the barriers, you actually repair them. So it's kind of a way to
that.
Yeah. So it's a way to help, attempt to divert the crowd or delay parts of the enemy army from swarming you.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just impossible. They're gonna get through.
Yeah, you will be overrun. Yes.
So the thing that I haven't really done, and I haven't tried this multiplayer. I meant to do that and we didn't, but because it's got online multiplayer, I think, as well. I assume in multiplayer that the 3 characters are all on the field at the same time. If you have 3 people, but
you can have up to 4 players, I believe.
Okay, but when you're playing single player, you pick a team of 3 characters.
That's right.
You pick their ability sets, or you can customize them, which you unlock different ability sets for them as you move on. And it's like, there's a fighter, and there's a ninja, and there's a mage, and just a bunch of different, sort of RPG character archetypes. And when you're playing single player, you can swap between those characters on the fly. Although it does take it does take a little bit of charge time or something.
There's a charge time, right?
Yeah, and they each have separate life bars, I think, so you can swap out if one's dying or something like that, I believe, as well. So it's interesting, and it's well written.
Translated by 8.4.
Right.
By the way,
Although you kind of want to be, I feel like you want to be in the right, the right mood for it, because there's literally not a line in there that's not a joke.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's
meant
true.
to be very silly.
Oh, absolutely.
And very self-referential. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, they're making jokes about it, being as fast as a hedgehog with blast processing. Like, there's just every single line is a one-liner, which is fine. But you kind of, if you're looking for something more serious, it's not going to be it. And the other thing that really caught me, and I haven't done this, but Phil, I know you have. So they've got, I think, 4 DLC packs.
Yes.
Which do bring you new missions, story missions, like a fairly sizable amount of new story missions.
Like 20 each.
Yeah.
Each pack.
But one of the things that they've done here, which I think is brilliant, is with each pack, they've included new sound modes that are meant to emulate other classic game systems, which I think is an absolutely brilliant move. I wish they were there, because I'm praising this game. It's not really my kind of game, and I doubt I'm going to spend money on DLC for it. But I think it's really smart of them to do that, because it definitely makes you want to, check those out too. Because you have like Super Famicom sound pack and an MD sound pack, and they don't call it Super Famicom; they just call it SFC, I think. And I think Disk System with the whatever the different sound chip there, Game Boy as well. It's very cool. It's a very cool idea.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I mean, I loved the 3DS predecessor, and this is loads of fun as well.
We did end up getting codes from 8.4 for this, but I did also buy the 4 DLC packs.
Yeah, which they sell in a bundle.
They sell in a bundle,
for not much.
Yeah, I bought the bundle of the DLC. I also have the physical. They're selling it physically through limited run, so I have that pre-ordered.
Okay.
And they're actually through limited run, they're selling an actual NES game that's a spin-off.
Nice.
Starring it's a infinite runner game starring the Amazon character.
Right.
From this game, which
is wearing nothing but a very small bikini.
Yes. And they actually released that, I think, back around the time of the 3DS game. They had made that game as like an NES ROM, like you just download it and play it on emulators or something. But now they have a like an enhanced version of it that they are putting on an actual NES cart. So
so this is by Ancient, correct?
Yes.
This is Yuzo Koshiro's company.
Yeah, and he did all the music.
Yeah. You can tell music's really good.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm using the Famicom Disk System sound.
That's the one I ended up using as well.
I liked that one the most. I don't know why.
It's what I will say. I mean, the MD and the Game Boy and the SFC all sound really cool.
Yeah,
they don't fit the visuals.
That's
I agree.
The weird part, because you're absolutely
if the
right.
visuals changed with it, then I would be all in on that.
Yeah, hearing like Super Nintendo caliber music with NES looking visuals, it's too weird for me.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but I mean it's really good. I highly recommend. And I don't think it's very expensive. So you're not going to break the bank to try it out. But I think especially if you, it's tower defense, but it's, even though there's a lot of stuff going on the screen, it's tower defense light. I think it's way more Gauntlet than tower defense. To be
Absolutely.
Honest. Which, if that's something that you sound like it would interest you, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's really good.
Yeah, it's only $15.
Oh, there you go. So it's really cheap on top of that. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I've been playing.
All right. Well then, Phil.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
Well, you know what? Real quick, I'm going to give you an update on this. I finished this. I'm showing it off for the YouTube folks. I finished up my DeLorean. There it is.
That's
there
great.
It is. You got the license plate. I did the Back to the Future 1 version, so you got all the little greebly stuff in the back.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here you can see the wheels. And woo!
And they flip. There you go.
Ready for
doors
flight
open,
mode.
I assume?
Huh?
Doors open, I assume?
Oh, yes. Let's see here. Whoop.
Nice.
Doors open. You got the
Wow, that's
seats
great.
in there. We got
Flux capacitor fluxing.
There it is, fluxing right there.
Does it light up with the original kit, or did you buy an aftermarket?
Oh no, that's a little light brick that comes with it.
That's cool.
So yep, it is.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic. So I'm very delighted with my giant Lego DeLorean. The hood also opens up as well, and stored inside is a little box of plutonium and a hoverboard.
Nice. Up in the frunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what else? What else have I been playing? Obviously, I was been playing some God of Protectors. Oh, I'm gonna show this off. Get my Game Boy. I'm getting my old GBA SP, which I always have within arm's reach, just like my.
I wish I could find my old Indigo one.
Just my Lego brick separator. So I have a couple Game Boy cameras from back in the day. Yep. You can see the limited gold Zelda version. Look at that one.
I love it. Yeah.
But I was recently made aware of some person who has created, because the Game Boy camera does not work perfectly.
Yeah.
On the SP, because you are plugging it in upside down. So you would have to hold the Game Boy upside down in order to take pictures. So if you look up Game Boy photo on the old Google, you'll find a link to this person's store. This is and again, this is just for the YouTube people watching, but this is the device is called a cartwheel, and it is a cartridge adapter that plugs into your SP, and then you can take your Game Boy camera and plug it in, and now you can have it upright and use your old school Game Boy camera on, I hesitate to say a modern Game Boy, but a 20-year-old Game Boy.
Sure.
Certainly. So I picked up that, and then I also picked up this little device. It's just a little box. It's a tiny little box. This is called a BitBoy, and what you do with this is this plugs into your Game Boy, and it's got a little SD card on there, a little SD card slot.
Yeah.
And you can dump all your Game Boy camera pictures to an SD card.
Cool. That
and then
is
put them on your computer. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
It is fantastic for a nerd like me who loved the Game Boy camera. That is a godsend. So I was also stunned to find that all my old pictures are still on here.
That's amazing.
The battery has not died on my Game Boy cameras yet.
Huh.
Despite being, from
20 years ago.
20 plus
30 years ago.
5 years ago. 30 years ago. How old is the Game Boy camera these days?
94?
Something like that. That sounds right. Oof.
Yeah, so almost 30 years ago.
Oh my goodness. So kudos to the Game Boy camera batteries. Hanging in there. So so I've been messing around with that. I also on a more modern bent, I was playing the hot new Sonic the Hedgehog game. Greg, I know you're a big Sega fan.
Mm-hmm.
So have you played the latest entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog series?
Roblox? No, I have not.
I'm of course referring to Sonic Speed Simulator.
Wow.
On the Roblox gaming platform.
What kid made this that isn't going to get compensated for their work?
It's legitimate.
Oh, really?
This is a licensed.
Yuji Naka did it after they kicked him out of Square Enix.
No, this is
the follow-up to Balan Wonderland.
This is another reason for Yuji Naka to hate CJ.
Wait, Yuji Naka hates me?
Does he hate you too?
Aren't you the one who kept making him sign magazine covers he didn't like?
I did make him do that, yes. That was as a joke, though.
What was the joke?
Exactly.
Aha, I've made you uncomfortable.
I hear you don't like this cover. Please sign it.
Respected member of the industry. Can I have a good laugh at you while you sign?
We will be talking to again in the future for cover stories.
Yeah, we did. And I think he ended up making an EGM cover for Phantasy Star card battle. You remember that card battling thing?
Yeah, Phantasy Star 3.
PSO 3.
Anyway, there's
Online 3.
There was magazine DLC for that game, and one of them, they basically the Sonic team made covers for all of them, and one of them was an EGM cover. So, and it looked cool, actually. It looked really good.
Nice. Man, PSO was good.
It was.
Yeah.
But he hated our first PSO cover.
Which one was that?
He did. I don't remember.
Sonic 10th anniversary cover, which I thought was one of our best covers. It was a close up of Sonic's eyes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
his eyes, you could see the PSO characters reflected.
Oh,
That's
right.
Because there were 2 cover stories that issue. That was one of the first ones I ever wrote, where it was a Sonic 10th anniversary and a preview of Sonic Adventure 2, and then there was Phantasy Star Online. So that was sort of a combo cover, and it's to this day still one of my favorite EGM covers.
Yeah,
I just thought it was so cool, and he hated it.
Oh, really?
That wasn't the one he hated, I don't think.
You told me he hated it.
No, that's not the one he hated.
They weren't happy with it because of the way we manipulated the art.
Okay.
Which one did he hate?
I thought he hated the one where
orange one, wasn't it?
it was an orange one with a render of Sonic that
Okay.
was put in the Dreamcast logo.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was the issue just before I came on, I think.
But no, Roblox Sonic Speed Simulator is an official Sega game. Sega didn't program it. They outsourced it to apparently some group that actually specializes in Roblox games.
Yeah. Which, by the way, some of those games from groups who specialize in Roblox games can look pretty good.
Well, have you looked at this Sonic game?
I have not. Does it look good?
Look it up right now.
Okay.
Just Roblox Sonic Speed Simulator. Look it up right now and tell me what you think. Because I was blown away.
Oh, wow.
Right?
It looks good.
It does. It absolutely looks good. You wouldn't know it was a Roblox game.
No, you wouldn't.
Roblox at all.
No. Well, that's just because, my kid is big into Roblox, as is a ton of his friends. And I've watched him play a decent amount of Roblox over these past couple of years. And so I was like, you know what? Let me, he's been trying to get me to play some Roblox just because he likes playing and he wanted to share it with me. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I made a little Roblox account and I went in and I was playing this game and it ain't bad.
This one's actually good.
There's not much to it.
Yeah.
Apparently the whole concept of a speed simulator is a kind of a common Roblox game type.
Okay.
And it really, the progression in it feels like one of those idle games, except you're not idle in it, because it starts off and you are your Roblox character, that this like goofy little blocky fellow. And you start off and you're very, very slow, and you're running around, well, slowly walking around, and you're collecting gems and rings. And as you collect these things, you gain experience, and the more experience you get, the more levels you go up and the faster you get. And so the goal of the game is to just kind of collect a bunch of stuff and get faster and faster and faster. And you can spend your rings to buy little chows. And the chows the chows function as multipliers. They hover around behind you and they multiply the experience and the rings you collect. And that of course makes you faster and faster. And then you can buy more and more chows to boost your multipliers. And then once you reach a level, then you do the a prestige kind of thing. And you get bumped back down to the next level. But then your level cap gets raised, so the next time you can max out and go even faster and faster. And so the point of the game is to just see how fast you can make your character go.
Okay.
And then there are you can go into what the Roblox term is obbies.
Yes.
Which are obstacle courses, which are essentially platforming sections. So you can play those and earn more rings. So yeah, I played a couple loops of it last night with my kid, and he was I was playing on my computer, he was playing on his computer, and we're in the same world, just kind of running around together. It was fun.
Okay,
cool. Like I said, not much to it, but
yeah,
I'm now $1,400 in the hole with Robux. So
that's how they get you.
Let me let's talk offline about Patreon funds, CJ, what we can do with that. But
all right, you really got into Fashion Famous after this. You really
how could you not?
I know.
Yeah.
Fell into the Fashion Famous black hole.
Is that one of the Roblox games?
Fashion Famous, yeah.
Fashion, okay. Yeah, that's not
Is
one
that the
that
one where you pick an outfit and then people vote on it.
Correct. It's the
really?
one where you pick an outfit and people vote on it, and that's the game. It's the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's not one that I'm familiar with, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But I'll look into it now. Maybe I'll talk about it next week.
Well, maybe if you have a girl,
Roblox cast.
have a daughter.
Wow.
That was sexist.
real sexist. My goodness.
Hey, I played Fashion Famous. I played
CJ,
a lot of Fashion Famous. Yeah.
Finn's not allowed to play with girl toys.
Is that what it is? Mm-hmm.
I had a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yes, so did I.
I didn't have. I had a knockoff.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Lettuce
what
patch.
What
a lettuce
knockoff
baby
called?
I have no idea what they were called, but
Something
they weren't
Canada
Cabbage Patch
themed.
Kids.
The Maple Leaf Kids.
Really proud of that one, aren't you? See, just falling over. Oh God.
Oh.
Joe Baldwin in the chat. I had a my buddy. Still came out gay.
Wherever I go, he goes, my buddy. My buddy.
That was great.
My buddy and me.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember way too many 80s jingles.
Well, who doesn't remember that?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Other than that, I played some more Lego Star Wars.
I really.
Yeah. Hey, I played more of that.
Congratulations.
I did, and I took your advice, Phil.
Yeah.
From the last episode of the show, and I focused on getting enough studs to
do
purchase. I got all the studs to purchase the multiplier, the stud multiplier.
Yes.
So I got the X2 at the moment.
That's my favorite nightclub, by the way. Stud multiplier.
I'm on my way to getting the × 4 multiplier.
That's what I'm working towards right now too.
To getting that, yeah. I've been playing a lot more missions. I finished the original trilogy.
Oh, did you?
I finished it. Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about all these stud multipliers, I had to take my shirt off. It was getting too warm.
Understandable.
Now my
And
shirt's made for me.
started on the prequel trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going in chronological order by release year.
Chronological.
I'm playing the game in machete order. That's not even true though. I'm actually not. I'm
going animal style. But so yeah, I'm playing co-op sections with my daughter. She's playing as well. And when we're not playing co-op story missions, I go into the free mode, the free roam mode.
Yes.
And I've just been doing little missions in there. I went into Mos Eisley and got a bunch of the blue Kyber bricks and have been getting the data cards because you need data cards to buy these stud multipliers.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this is not a free-to-play game, it has plenty of currencies. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really enjoy the little secrets and the little nods to Star Wars. I did one investigation on Mos Eisley where you have to determine who shot first, Han or Greedo.
Nice.
And it's a cute little scene where you just go around that area of Mos Eisley and interview some folks. And
turns out there was a lone gunman on the sandy knoll.
One of the band members in the cantina did it.
Oh, was it friggin' Dan or one of the modal nodes?
It was one of the modal nodes, yes.
They stopped their jizz wailing to shoot at a guy.
Uh-huh.
What the hell are we talking about?
I'm talking about Star Wars
Star
canon,
Wars.
man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But playing through episode 1 at the moment, and it's making episode 1 kind of enjoyable, but it's also making me remember how much I hated that movie after I saw it so many times in a 24-hour period. I saw it 3 or 4 times in a 24-hour period.
Would you lose a bet?
Yeah, really.
I saw
Keep
it
in mind,
twice.
it was a simpler time.
I saw it
Pre-COVID.
because I saw it at the midnight show.
I saw it at the midnight show. Yeah.
And then the job I was at the time, we had let's take a long lunch. We're all going to go see Star Wars. That was a treat.
Were you
for
at
us.
Ziff?
Yeah,
during
because
this?
if Davis did
No.
that
This was
for-
when I was living in Missouri.
Oh,
I was
okay.
working-
Well, Ziff also paid for the entire office to go
Oh, nice.
Yep.
and see it. And then also my dad and brother wanted to see it. So I saw it again. So 3 times in 24 hours. And let me tell you, that burnt me out on that movie so much.
I was
At
burnt out
the
about
time, I
halfway
was
through the
trying to
first
convince
show.
myself. I tried to convince myself that I liked it.
Well, yeah, of course you did.
Well, yeah, we all
3
wanted to.
times
Yeah.
24 hours.
Because weirdly enough, for people who weren't around back there, weren't old enough to remember that, it used to be that you had a long gap between Star Wars content.
Correct.
Instead of something new every 2 months.
Because what was it? Yeah, 83,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then to 99.
Yeah.
So
Long
there
gap.
was a
Now,
big gap.
they had re-released the special editions before that.
They did. That was 97, I
But
believe,
still.
wasn't they?
Yeah.
Was there less time between Luigi's Mansion and Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon? I think possibly, but yeah. So I'm playing through the prequels. I just got. I'm going to see Senator Palpatine in
yes.
some kind of thing. On
Sheev.
yeah, exactly.
as he's known.
Whatever. But the gameplay is fun, especially because I just go around destroying anything that looks like Lego to get the studs.
Yeah.
It's been 16 years since the last Star Wars. What do fans want? Political intrigue,
Political intrigue.
trade blockades.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what they want.
So it's a lot more watchable when funny Lego things are going on during the cinematics. Doesn't seem so bad. Doesn't
I
seem
just
so awful.
because I think I mentioned this last week. I'm playing through it just kind of weird order. I played New Hope, and then I jumped into Force Awakens,
Yeah.
and now I'm starting Phantom Menace, and I'm I just got to Naboo in the Phantom Menace part. So
Okay.
I've just finished going through the planet core, and now I'm in Naboo. But I did find out I posted a picture of this on the old Twitters when I was exploring the droid battleship at the beginning that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan land on.
Yeah.
I off in some little back corner, I found some crates that I some Lego crates that I shot, and like the lid flew off, and inside were a bunch of copies of the original Lego Star Wars game.
Nice.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, the old IDOS one. They had
Mhm.
just like a little cutesy kind of Lego-fied version of that cover, and then when you destroy the crates, you see the little boxes go everywhere, but also a bunch of little discs fall out. So it was very
I
cute.
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Interesting little wrinkle playing co-op. So I think it's Return of the Jedi. I'm pretty sure where Luke faces off against Darth Vader.
Oh, he
and
does
Senator
that in.
Palpatine's watching.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
Jedi.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Can't believe we had
in co-op,
I know, right?
they make one player Luke and the other player is Darth Vader. The other player is the boss.
Nice.
Oh really?
So it's very funny, except my daughter who kind of likes to play as a troll in games, like she enjoys trolling, would not let me attack. So like the other player has basically they're invincible because this is a story beat. They're not supposed to die anyway. And she was just combo. I'm like, let me get some damn hits in here.
Have you tried getting good?
The game is not exactly. I'm like, this is my freaking Elden Ring right here. I'm getting pummeled.
Trying to defeat my 10-year-old kid at a Lego game.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. She just kept attacking. It was like, well, of course, and the game is set up like it's the boss, so it's not. Anyway, I died a lot.
Well,
that scene, but that's okay. We're having fun, and some funny little things happen there as well. I think some of them have been in the trailer where like Palpatine does his little energy blast from the hands, and they're just like plastic things coming off his hands, and then he throws those at you. He takes them off and throws them at you, and then actually blasts you with electricity.
There was a similar gag in the Force Awakens bit. I don't know if you remember at the end of Force Awakens when the X-Wings are attacking the Death Star, the bigger Death Star, and so you see in one of the little cinematics, the X-Wings are swooping in and they're shooting lasers down at the planet, but they're the translucent Lego missile pieces. So you just see the little lasers falling down and they're just bouncing off the surface. And then the camera pans down and there's like a little stormtrooper like sweeping them up, just pushing them off the side. It was a cute.
I love it. It's cute. The whole game is cute.
That's a fun game.
It is, and I'm having a lot of fun just going through the free roam areas. Just very relaxing to just like explore that stuff. There's a lot of content in this game.
There is. I mean, Lego games lately have really been jam packed with stuff, but boy, this one,
it's crazy.
It's nuts with it.
Yeah. All right, and
that's all I've been playing. So,
well, I thought I was in my what you've been playing already because
we were sharing ours.
Shared
experience. CJ,
okay,
revel
fine,
in it, man.
Fine.
Yeah.
Let's relax, everybody.
What else have you been playing? Greg, anything else you've been playing?
No.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I played some more Kirby. Mario Golf came out on the N64 NSO, but I haven't played any of that. I would like to play some of that. But and then I also have been doing something in Sea of Thieves I hadn't done for a while, which is hop in and play with a random stranger.
How's that go?
Hop into a game. And it can go either way, right? Like you can be on a ship with a completely new person or somebody who's played before. And I usually just stand there and do whatever they want to do and help. And it's been fun, actually, because I've joined people who are like not great at the game by their own admission. Like, I don't judge anybody. They're like, I'm not good at shooting or I'm not good at driving.
I don't know. I've played Sea of Thieves with you. I felt judged.
Even when I'm not talking or doing anything, because I have my microphone off too, so they don't even hear me. I'm just using the game's in-game quick chat, which is not really that complicated. But yeah, totally PvP'd a Reaper crew with this one guy who was like, I'm not very good at shooting, but I'll try, and we destroyed them. It was great. So I hadn't done that for a while, just like joined people who are randomly matchmaking in the game, and I thought that was really fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. So I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedly-diddly-dee. A tweedly-diddly-dee. Tweet. A tweet. A tweet. Tweet.
Wow. All right.
There you go.
Hacker alias F Boley says, what's your favorite gaming Easter egg? Very topical as we're recording on Easter Sunday. Favorite Easter egg. Favorite cheat code. Favorite thing like that.
You know, when I was a kid, it was a 30-man code in Contra.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Because everybody knew it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you guys ever track down the first Easter egg, the one from Adventure?
No, I've always heard about that one and never actually
I've never
looked
tried
at
it.
Yeah, I never have either.
Actually talking about Lego Star Wars, you could unlock what was it, like a disco level at the end of the original Lego Star Wars. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right.
I think you were in the Corvette. I think you were in the ship at the beginning of the movie. And like a disco ball dropped down or something along those lines. Anyway,
that is right.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
I remember really being happy when I found that.
Yeah,
it was a really nice touch. I don't know. Nothing really stands out.
No, most of the Easter eggs that I used back in the day were things like level selects and add more lives. Nothing that was like did anything particularly cheeky to the game itself, except like big head codes and things like that were always fun.
I did like I think this counts as an Easter egg, but in Metal Gear Solid, when you are doing the Psycho Mantis boss fight, and he reads your memory card, and if you have like the Castlevania Symphony of the Nights save game on there, he comments, "Oh, you like Castlevania?"
I think it worked for other Konami games as well.
There were a few different ones. Yeah,
there was in was it Duke Nukem 3D and I want to say Quake. It was two games that Lobotomy, or maybe Power Slave. At least two, maybe three games that Lobotomy had developed for the Saturn. I believe the way it worked is if it could read a save file from one of the other games when you played a certain game, you could unlock a game called Death Tank.
Oh, right.
There, which was basically Worms.
Right.
But that was kind of cool. I always thought that was pretty neat. And I always loved when we got into that era where it was kind of along the same lines that you said with Metal Gear Solid, where we went from batteries that were locked to the cartridge they were in, and battery save cards or internal memory so that other games could access that. I always kind of loved anytime a game would read save files from another game to unlock something, or change something, which seemed to happen a fair bit.
Yeah. Yeah. What about those codes, or not codes so much as you rip the cartridge out of the Genesis and put another one in? It's suddenly the Japanese version of Revenge of Shinobi or whatever.
I think I tried doing that once.
Yeah.
And felt really uncomfortable about it.
I was so afraid I was going to ruin my Genesis or something.
Right?
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that was certainly not like an official thing. That was some sort of like glitch with like the system's memory or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like you pulled the card out and like part of the game data was still in the system's memory or something.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
And then when you put the new card in, like it messed it up somehow. Yeah.
Or the Toe Jam and Earl level 0.
Oh yeah, that's a good one
too. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah. The nice secret stage.
There's some cool stuff through the years.
Yeah. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Namava, who says, "What's your favorite bad 3D Sonic game, and can we just reflect on how poorly Sega has treated their own mascot in general?"
We talked about this a little bit last week.
We did, yeah.
I mean, you got to go with Sonic 06, I think. I guess our favorite bad Sonic game, though. Yeah. I think my favorite, I think you'd call this a bad game, and maybe people would disagree with me. Sonic R, I really like a lot. Although when you really play it, it's not great.
I did not like Sonic R.
No, it doesn't control well.
No.
But I really enjoyed that. And again, it goes back a lot to the personality and the music. Definitely.
Oh, the music
soundtrack was astounding, but
it's got an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, so I'd say that's probably one of my favorite bad Sonic games. And some people would argue it's good. I wouldn't, but some people would.
It's not the Mario Party clone.
Oh God, Sonic Shuffle.
Sonic Shuffle.
I was so disappointed by that game.
Yeah.
Oh,
everything about that I was so excited for, because it's like, okay, we got Mario Party, but it's Sonic, great, and it's using cel shaded graphics.
Yep.
I can't wait for. And then it was just so mediocre.
Yeah. I seem to remember I played a bit of what was it? Sonic Unleashed. The Werehog one.
Game.
And I
like it.
And I say I played a bit of it. I may have reviewed it. I don't remember, but I remember not liking the Werehog stages, but I had fun with the regular stages where you were just a normal Sonic.
There's a great channel on YouTube called what's it called? It's about New Frame Plus, I think it's called. Where he's an animator who goes through it. We've talked about this channel before.
Yeah.
He goes through video game animations and sort of pulls them apart and says, like, what's good about them, what's bad about them, why certain things were done a certain way, and all that. And one of the more recent videos, he doesn't put a lot of videos out frequently, but one of the more recent videos he did was he went through all the Sonic games.
Yeah.
And he looked at them from the standpoint of the animations, especially, and it was interesting to watch because a lot of it was sort of the challenge of bringing sort of what Sonic's animation in 2D had done for the character into 3D space, and the into the camera style gameplay. And it was pretty cool to watch. But that was one of the games that he called out, Sonic Unleashed, and he kind of said the same thing, I think, if I remember correctly, where it's like the Werehog stuff not great, but the Sonic stuff felt like Sonic, which Sonic 2006 didn't have. Right? It was just completely broken. But it's a good video. New Frame Plus is the name of the channel. I highly recommend it. But he has a very long video going through every Sonic game, and it's fascinating to watch him break the stuff down and critique it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, is that a show? Is that the end? I think it is.
Sure.
Yeah, let's end it
What
there.
else are we going to talk about?
Exactly. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You will also find Generation 16 episodes as they happen.
Yeah, the new one's still coming along fine, but I'm only about halfway done.
Excellent. And you will also find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode, and a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or watch us live most weeks on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on the twitch.televisions. Follow our Twitter account, which is @P1 Podcast, to find out when we're doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday nights, and it is at 5:30 Pacific time. So join us, won't you? And if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. I got a lot of Roblox avatar costumes to buy. They're selling, you can buy like the Sonic the Hedgehog hairpiece. They got a Dr. Robotnik mustache you can buy.
Yeah.
So
that ain't cheap.
No, that costs Robux, man.
It's a premium item.
That's how they get you. So come contribute to our dark practices.
Dark patterns. No, we're not really gonna. Let's be clear. No Robux will be purchased by Patreon funds.
Whatever. I guess you're just gonna use those Patreon funds to help keep our show going every week. Keep us broadcasting and everything. All those costs. And I'll tell you what, though, if you are a Patreon friend at the $5 tier,
cheap.
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode that we record right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ, what game do we have this week?
Well, we have a review game based upon the April 1997 issue of EGM.
Oh, dear.
And the reviews contained therein.
Okay. April 97.
Yeah. April 97.
Okay. We'll see what happens there.
That's right.
That's going to be interesting.
Should be.
Okay, join us for that, friendos. And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/generation16 to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Philip. And if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 per episode variety,
also cheap,
you get access to the vlog series I do called The Weekly Commute, where I talk about updates on each new episode, other videos I'm working on, and sort of anything else that comes to mind. Lately, I've been telling stories about different games in my collection and kind of how they impacted me, my memories of them. Today, I was talking about Robotech Battle Cry and how it's kind of indirectly responsible for getting me into game development. So, and hey, I only put out like 2 or 3 episodes a year, so $5 an episode, not going to cost you a whole lot. So please consider supporting the show.
Very nice.
There you go.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it, folks, right?
That is it.
Okay. CJ.
Yaha.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Me too.
Yes.
Sure.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philip.
I hope your family starts feeling better soon. I hope you can avoid all of that, but well, let's see what happens.
Me too.
Now, I've been avoiding it quite expertly. So
can't get you when you don't leave the house.
I'm a shut-in, baby. Good luck getting through these doors.
Good thing it's not airborne anyway.
Okay. And of course, thank you. Yes, you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single one of you, as always, stay safe. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family. Do what you got to do to be safe and secure. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.